Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Villans Rebuilt. My name is Manxman Matt, and today we're going to be playing Huddersfield in the league. So what I'm going to do, I'll just quickly take you through the results since the last game. So I believe the last time you were here, was it Norwich? I think it was Norwich. So as you can see, we've jumped a fair way into the future, and as you can see, we've been on a terrible run of form after being on that fantastic run of form early on. We've drawn and lost pretty much every game. There's, as you can see, just 3 wins in that time, which has meant we've gone from second in the championship from when I was last with you, and we are now down in eighth, and we are still in touch and distance of the playoffs. So it's still only 2 points away, but after being on a long run of form that kept us top of the league and second, fighting out with teams up there, we're now way off top. We're 11 points off top of the league, and I'm pretty much forgetting about automatic promotion. Even we're now just looking to see whether we can make it into the playoffs and try and get promoted that way, because we really need to get promoted this season. I know the financial troubles have gone for now, but I think if we don't get promoted, I think we're going to be in the same situation next summer. We're not going to be able to bring anybody in, and it's just going to make things 10 times more difficult. So, like I say, I just want to get promoted this season, and it looks like the playoffs now are going to be the only viable way for me to do that. So we'll go straight into having a look at the team. Sorry, this is the team from the previous game where we had to rotate a lot because we've got a few guys that were knackered. So if you just bear with me, I'm just going to pick the team and then I'll bring you back. So I've sorted the team out, and this is the team that we're going to use to face Huddersfield today, who are top of the league and also got relegated last season. So it's going to be a struggle for us to win this game, but we uh, we certainly need to start turning our form around. We certainly need to start turning our form around at some point. So we've got Pierluigi Golini in goal. We've got Richie Delat at right back. Delat. One of my mates told me which way it's supposed to be yesterday, and I still can't bloody remember. So he's going to be Delat, I think, but he might be Delete just because I like saying delete. We've got James Chester and John Terry at centre backs with Neil Taylor on the left. David Myler playing as the defensive midfielder. Mario Pasalic and Connor Hurricane in central midfield. Ronnie Lopez on the right. Reece Nelson on the left, and Scott Hogan as the complete forward on attack. Since you've been with us, I think actually Hogan has gone from probably is the only player that's in a little bit of form, and he's gone from not scoring many goals to being our top scorer ahead of Sam Gallagher, despite Gallagher playing more games. So I think Hogan's going to have to start for now, and Gallagher's really going to have to fight his way back into the team. So on the bench, we've got Lucas Moore, Harry Tofolo, Mika Richards, Henri Lansbury, Glenn Whelan, Andrew Green, and Sam Gallagher. So let's get into this game against Huddersfield. As you can see, I've gone counter because Huddersfield are top of the league, and we're not doing anything at the moment. So we need to have our wits about us a little bit. So rather than going attacking, we'll stick with counter for now and see if we can get anything from this game. So for those of you that are interested, that is the Huddersfield team. I recognise Mui or Moy or whatever you want to call him from their current Premier League side, but I haven't really followed anything that Huddersfield have done this season, so that could well be an ordinary starting team. They might just be a championship quality club, got relegated and not sold any of their players because they expected to come back here anyway. I don't really know, but like I say, yeah, there you go. That's the Huddersfield team. They're clearly doing well. They're top of the league, I think, by 1 point from Leicester City. So I think we probably will struggle today, but I'd like to see us put up a little bit of a fight because we're going to have to compete with teams like that if we want to get promoted. So let's get on into this first game. Into this game and see how things go. So Gomez has got it out to low. Ayati well cleared by Hogan. Well, I think that's been the most uneventful first half of football I've ever had on Football Manager. Apart from that one highlight in like the second minute, there hasn't been anything. All I can tell you is they've had 3 yellow cards already, so it looks like they've gone for a quite strong tackling technique. And other than that, there's been a few shots. The game has told me that all of the shots from both sides have been from long range, so neither of us are clearly doing much in the way of getting into the opposition areas. I've turned work ball into the box on to see if we can do something. I think I'm just going to leave it as it is for now and either change things up if we score or they score. So first corner, and it's a corner from them. It's gone back out to their winger, and again we've cleared it twice. Cross again for the third time, knocked down from one of their players to another, and that's gone in the goal. So Mui plays the ball down to, is it Lowe, who was crossing the ball in from the wings. Kachunga knocks it down, and Sabri puts the ball in the net. A little bit disappointing, but they've had to make 2 changes to make anything happen. So delete, cross the ball to Nelson, Hogan, and right, that's it. Useless piece of shit is coming off. What the hell was he doing there? Ball's played straight to him, and he's put it straight over the bastard bar. He's gone. And I'm dropping him for the next game for that as well. Gallagher can come on and do something because at least he's got a little bit of something about him. I think Ronnie Lopez is not doing too fantastic either, so I'm going to bring Green on and make him a winger. It's always handy to have a winger on when you've got a target man up front, so let's see if we can do anything. I'm going to change from going counter to going standard because we need to try and have something. Right, so that there's 20 minutes left. I'm going to go attacking, but I'm going to remember to drop the defensive line. So when I go attacking, as you can see, the defensive line moves up. Because we've got John Terry, I'm going to make it slightly deeper just so that we don't have a high defensive line with the slowest man on the planet in it. So why did that change back? Okay, I don't know why that happened. And I'm also going to drop Herahane. Pasalik's going to move over and be the box-to-box midfielder. Lansbury's going to come on, and I'm going to turn him into an advanced playmaker on attack, just so that we've got at least one more player going forward. And we'll see if that makes any difference. Made all 3 substitutions, so I'm pretty sure one of our players is coming off injured in the next 15 minutes. But we'll have to wait and see. And as we've gone attacking, there's no highlights. As I say that, we get a highlight, but it looks like we've lost the ball, and it's allowing Kachunga to break on us. We were lucky there that Ayati, or whatever that guy's, Ayati? Whatever his name is, he's put it over the bar, thank God. I'm guessing this is the end of game highlight, but maybe not. They're building on us. Carl Norton crossed the ball in, well cleared by John Terry. Mui's got it into Hogg, Kachunga into Norton. Ayate at the back post again. Good save by Galini. Ayate again to Danny Graben. It seems I know more of the players they brought on off the bench. Well cleared by Taylor, but it's gone out for a throw in, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be the end of the game. And it is. 1-0 loss to the team that's top of the league. Not too bad. The stats there, apart from the fact that they were a bunch of hacking, cheating bastards with their 6 yellow cards and 12 fouls, they've clearly dominated in both shots and shots on target, which is a bit disappointing. But to be expected from a team that's got Premier League quality players in it that have played a year in the Premier League and come down and they're currently top of this league. I think because there's not really been very many highlights in this, I'll probably do a second game. So if you bear with me, I'll come back for the next game, whatever that is, and we'll see how we fare in that, see if we can turn this form around a little bit. So the second game in today's episode is going to be against Barnsley. Barnsley are down in 19th in the league, which means this is the kind of game that we have to win if we want to have any chance of sticking up in the playoff push. We're a couple of points outside it now with the previous game, so we're 2 points outside it, and we need to start pushing on if we want to be able to think about having any chance of getting into the playoffs come the end of the season. So a couple of changes to the team from yesterday, or last weekend's episode, the first episode in this game. Sorry, I keep getting mixed up because I'm not used to doing 2 episodes. So pretty much the same, apart from the fact that we're going to start with Andre Green as a winger on the right hand side instead of Romy Lopez, and Sam Gallagher is starting up front instead of Hogan after Hogan's terrible miss in yesterday's game. A few changes to the bench as well. Whelan and Micah Richards managed to get themselves injured in training, so so Nigel De Jong has come in for Whelan, and I've brought in Piers on for Richards. I think with Mullen to follow on the bench and the fact that James Chester can play at right back if needed, we've got enough cover for the back four on the bench with just those two. Nigel De Jong comes in so that we've got cover for Hurricane Pasalic and David Myler without having to change the formation up. And obviously, we've also brought Piers on so that we've got cover for both wingers should I decide that I want an inside forward on that left to come on for Nelson. I'm going to go control in this game because we need to play Barnsley off the park, because we need to prove that we are a good enough team to make sure that we can get in the promotion, the playoff push. So there's the Barnsley team. I can guarantee I've never heard of any of those players, and if I have, it's been in such an obscure way that I don't remember it. They're not players that should be able to even score against us today. They're not players that I've heard of. Barnsley are not a top half championship side, so we should be comfortably winning this game today. Cue a 3-1 loss, I'm going to say. Put your guess in the comments now as to what you think the score in this game is going to be. I'm pretty sure that we are going to lose it, and I'm going to say 3-1, even though we should win it, because this is Football Manager. And Reece Nelson has scored there. Was that a corner? Sorry, I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to be commentating. So Hurricane crossed the ball in from a corner, Pasalic forward to Nelson. Nelson takes a massive deflection off one of their centre-backs, and that's 1-0 up to us. And it hasn't even gone down as a Nelson goal. That's how much that deflection contributed there. And Pasalic scored a worldie. What a fucking finish that was. So Taylor takes a throw in, down to Gallagher, wins the ball, knocks it past his man, plays Reece Nelson in. Reece Nelson cuts it back to Pasalic, who first time hits it with his left foot. It's gone in the top right hand corner. What a cracking finish that was. Oh, for fuck's sake. So 15 minutes in, and Myler is injured. So Nigel De Jong is coming on for like his fourth. That might be the first time I think De Jong has been involved in a game that's been recorded. I don't actually really want him. He's too old and he's not good enough. But we couldn't find anybody else to bring in that defensive midfield place. Now Myler's injured. We're going to have to play him. I've just sold Gary Gardner, so we can't really go back to a 3 central midfielder formation because we're not going to have enough after I sold Bjarnason. So we need to probably look at getting in another defensive midfielder in January. And it's now 2-1 because I didn't commentate on the last Barnsley highlight. Marek crosses in, cleared by us only as far as Hamill. Takes a shot and it takes a massive deflection off whoever that was, and 2-1. Well cleared by us there, but it's only as far as Yidiam. Forward to Roberts, and Roberts puts it wide. Lindsay into Yidiam, and through to Clark. Mauer, Yidiam is through. That's not how you say that guy's name, is it? Well won back by Reece Nelson, moving it forward. Back out to Nelson again, through to Gallagher. Gallagher's surrounded. Hurricane, Nelson, Gallagher's through, and Gallagher scores to make it 3-1. Brilliant fluid football there. So Gallagher taps it out to Taylor, into Hurricane, forward to Nelson, takes one touch, puts it through to Gallagher, who hits it first time into the top corner. 3-1. So as you can see from the half-time stats, we are by far and away the better team. I don't really care about possession. I've never been a possession fan. As I've said before, I think Pep Guardiola's style of football is just shit. But we've got 14 shots, 6 on target, and we're not hacking players because we've got the same amount of fouls and stuff. I think we just need to make sure that we keep building on these attacks. Don't allow them to break again. Try not to have any more deflected goals from 20 yards. Don't know why their guy got the goal, but Reece Nelson just shot that deflected in what wasn't given to him. As far as I'm concerned, Reece Nelson's got a goal and assist rather than just the assist that the game's given him. Anyway, let's get back into this second half. So they start with the ball, passing it around their defence. I'm pretty sure this is just an opening game highlight again. Maybe not though. Still building, and Roberts is through. Good save by Galini. So another one of their highlights thrown in, back out to their wings. Well cleared by us again. Not allowing them much space. Well cleared again by Terry. All the way back to their goalkeeper. Going to try and build from deep, I think. Hamill's beaten past his man. Bradshaw's through. Plays it into Roberts, who's put the ball wide. Again, another one of their highlights, building from deep. De Jong's won it back, though. Passing it around on midfield, out to Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson loses out on the ball. John Terry wins it back. Gallagher's gone wide for some reason, despite the fact he's a target man. Doesn't really make much sense, but whatever. Hourihane into Gallagher. Gallagher to Reece Nelson. Crosses it back into Gallagher. And that's 4-1. Cracking finish. There's been some really well-worked goals from us here today. They're packing the centre of the pitch, forcing us to go out wide, and we're still managing to break through. Great cross in from Nelson after going to the byline, and Gallagher with a strong header into the top corner. Just let this highlight play out, and then I'm going to make a substitution. So Paslic's got the ball, but loses it to Gooch. Looks like he might be getting sent off. Yep. So we're now playing against 10 men of what they call Barnsley. So it looks like he's come on. That Gooch fella's just come on and has already been sent off. So we're going to make a substitution. We're going to bring Ronnie Lopez on for Green, who's not had a good game. He's the only one of our attacking players really that hasn't had a good game. And I think we'll leave it 10 minutes and then we'll probably bring Lucas Moule on just to give some fresh legs at the back. So Hourihane plays the ball forward. Nothing's happening. Hourihane again. Reece Nelson shoots and it's miles wide. Right, so there's just over 10 minutes to go plus added time. I'm going to give John Terry a bit of a rest. Bring on Lucas Moule and hopefully we can just shut this game down now. I'll probably also, because I've forgotten to do it now, I'll just go from control down to counter. We don't mind sitting back and absorbing a little bit of pressure. I don't think these players are good enough to score 3 goals or 4 goals in the last 10 minutes of this game. Throw in from them, balls come across to Hamill, back out to Marnie, into Vibe. We've won it back though, Sam Gallagher, and that's it. That's the end of the game. And we've got a 4-1 win against Barnsley. It's a good result for us. We needed to, like I said before the game, we needed to win that game. We needed to make sure that we were still in the hunt of the playoffs. Let's just have a quick look at where we are in the league, and then I'll tell you where we're going to come back in the next episode. So just to show you again how shitty this game is with its stupid medical centre, that's our current injury list. So Myler's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. We've got Mika Richards out for 3 to 6 weeks. We've got Glenn Whelan out for 3 weeks at the moment. He was out for a week before that, so that's 4 weeks. Chris Samba out for 10 days to 3 weeks. Again, he's already been out for a couple of weeks, so that's going to be a 5-week injury. Myler, like it says here, probably out for 6 to 8 weeks. Charlie Swan is a youth player, and so is Brian Robinson, so I'm not too fussed about that, but that's just our list. Richie's Latt has just come back from a 6-week injury. We've had, obviously, Reece Nelson was out for 6 to 8 weeks, so we've had probably 10 first teamers, I would say, or 10 injuries in the first team of more than 3 weeks, which just doesn't happen in the real world. So, yeah, this is my little rant about how rubbish this stupid medical centre has made Football Manager 18. Football Manager really need to just go back to making a good, fun simulator game rather than trying to make it realistic and ruining it. So if we just look at the championship table, and we've managed to get back in, I didn't even know that, we're back into the playoffs. So we managed to knock Barnsley down into the relegation. Was it Barnsley we just played? Whoever it was. I thought it was Brentford, but they appear to have been above us in the league. whatever it is, we're now after 23 games, which I think is exactly halfway through the season. We are sixth and in the final playoff position. If we are going to be in the playoffs, I don't want to be fifth or sixth. I want that home advantage in the second leg of the playoffs. So we really want to finish third or fourth, so that we can have a better chance of knowing exactly where we are in the playoffs going into the second game if we manage to make it in. So we want to have a better second half of the season than Everton, Hull, Middlesbrough. I mean, 13 points for automatic promotion just seems impossible at this point. So yeah, I think it's just basically we're now going to have to try and stay in the hunt for the playoffs. But I mean, with all the teams, even down to Bristol City, within 7 points of us, we're going to have a good second half of the season if we want to stay there. As you can see, Leicester have managed to keep Kelechi Iheanacho and Riyad Mahrez, who are the top scorer and top rated players. So Leicester are going to be the team to beat. I think Everton did sell a lot of their players in the summer, but yeah, the ones to watch out for are going to be Leicester. I think Leicester will end up winning this league. So the next episode, we're going to probably play the whole of the January transfer window offline. There's not actually that many games between now and the end of January for some reason. I don't know why. Looks like we've got game on Boxing Day, game between Boxing Day and New Year, game on New Year, then 11 days off for no apparent reason. I assume it's an international break, I'm guessing, but it just seems a little bit silly. We'll come back for the Blackburn game. So, I mean, we've only got a few games to play. We'll come back for the Blackburn game and see if I've made any transfers in the summer. As I told you, Gary Gardner is gone. We've That gives us a budget of 2 million and a wage budget of nearly 40,000. I'd like to bring in a right back, but we need to look at that defensive midfield position because those two positions are our two weakest. And I also need to look at whether I want to maybe scrap the defensive midfielder or scrap playing wingers and go with a two striker system. So I might look at bringing in a striker instead. Either way, we'll find out when we come back for that Blackburn game. So if you've liked this episode, please, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a like down there. If you've got anything you want to say to me, please have a bit of a chat in the comments. I've noticed I've been getting a bit of stick in some comments, and others I'm just sort of getting a bit of support. But like I say, if you've got anything that you think I should know or anything that you think I should be doing differently, please tell me. I'm happy to respond to any comments that we get, or at least acknowledge that they're there if you're just saying that you're enjoying the save. Um, and yeah, if you want to see any more from me, please subscribe to the channel, and thank you very much for watching.